Hello and welcome to Sex RX. I'm Dr. Manny. Infidelity comes in many different forms, particularly in our tech-savvy society. Sometimes cheating is not even physical. Here to help us sort it all out is sex therapist Dr. Laura Berman. Laura, welcome.
Thank
you. My favorite topic. Listen, when you talk about cheating and we're talking about technology,
yes.
Give me a little perspective, because it comes in different shapes and sizes, right?
Absolutely. And couples don't necessarily talk specifically and understand what the boundaries are, and they may have different ideas. For instance, it turns out that Facebook is now being cited in 1 in 5 divorces in this country, because what happens is that you have a fight with your mate, you go on to your Facebook page, you see your old high school boyfriend or girlfriend or college boyfriend or girlfriend, you get back in touch, you start flirting. We used to worry about the high school reunions or the college reunions once every 5
Forget
or 10
about those
years.
now.
It's every day.
Passé, right.
It's passé. You're in contact with those people from your past, and you're in love not even so much with that person you were in love with back then, but you're in love with who you were back then.
Right.
So it's very seductive.
Now people work now more and more than ever, especially with this economy. There seems to be, we talk about, and the intro I said this, it doesn't have to be necessarily physical, right? Like the good old-fashioned affairs. But now they're emotional affairs. What are those like?
Well, people, will joke around, this is my work husband or my work wife. Many of us spend much more time at work than we do at home, and we build very emotionally intimate relationships with people at work that may become flirtatious. It may not ever manifest in a physical sexual connection, but there's flirting, there's sometimes sexting, there's, sharing intimate things with one another that you're not even necessarily sharing with your mate. You get the big promotion, and the first one you want to call is your work wife or husband and not your actual wife or husband.
Exactly right. So let's say, now I'm not saying anything about me, let's say I get one of those temptations.
Yes.
All right. How do I heal myself so I don't fall on the other side of the river?
Right. Well, there are always temptations, and monogamy doesn't come naturally to any of us, I don't think, over the long haul. We're not programmed for lifelong monogamy. It takes work and effort, and you're going to be tempted. But if you're really tempted and wanting to act on it, it's usually because something is missing in your primary relationship. So there are two things. One is to look at, what's drawing me to this other person? Am I looking for validation? Is it I'm not getting enough attention? Am I really missing sex? What is it?
Right.
And then really bring that home and say, I'm noticing that I'm looking around. And
bring
that
it home?
Well, not that person, but bring the issue home.
Bring the issue home.
Bring the issue home and have an honest conversation, because that person doesn't want you to cheat on them. It may be a hard conversation to have, but if they know that you're being tempted and that you're struggling, they'll usually be willing to at least go for some help with you.
But how do you bring this up? I mean, because, so now I feel tempted. I feel I don't want to be tempted, but I find that I'm being tempted because of X, Y, and Z. So now I come home and I got to tell my partner, right? I should tell my partner. What do I tell her? That I'm cheating emotionally on you? That I'm attracted to my coworker? What do I do?
Well, okay, so first you try not telling them that if you haven't acted on it, unless you've come really close.
I'm confused.
Okay, so first,
I don't have Laura next to me. I'm confused.
I'll put a little IFB in your ear and give you coaching while you're talking to your wife.
Right. But how do I approach
that? You do have to come. You say, look, I'm really at a time where you're not fighting, right, where it's calm. You make an appointment to sort of say, look, there's something I really want to talk to you about. You go out for a walk, you keep things calm, you say, look, I am noticing that I'm feeling an absence of love, sex, connection, romance, what's missing in your relationship. And I want to take responsibility for my role in that. I'm not saying this is all your fault, because this is a dance we're both doing.
Okay.
So I'm really going to take I want more romance in my life or more sex in my life. I'm going to make efforts to be more seductive, to give you more attention, to be more tuned into you. But I really need you to join me in that. And I think that we can do this together. If we can't, I really want to go for help. But this relationship is important to me.
Men and women do perceive cheating in a different way. What's the difference?
Well, I think what happens is if I ask, a group of men and women, what's worse? Your partner falling in love with someone else, and or your partner having a sexual relationship with someone else. I find, and I've talked to lots of men and women, that men have a much harder time with the physical infidelity, and women have even a harder, I mean, not that they want either, but they'd rather him have a one-night stand with some woman than fall in love with her and share his emotions and you know, text her and comfort her and connect with her and cuddle her and have that emotional connection with someone else. That's almost worse for women.
Could it lead to you leaving that person, your regular partner, and going for this emotional cheating, texting, buddy type of thing? And is that a good thing? I mean, how do you come to the conclusion that, you know what, I really want to leave my wife for this emotional support?
Well,
and is that healthy?
Usually the person will not leave for that emotional support until the relationship has been consummated. Right?
You mean the sexual relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
So if it's now become, you not only have the emotional thing, and now you cross the line and it goes into sexual, and you realize, I really am in love with this person, then sometimes you'll see someone leaving the relationship. But we usually don't see men or women leaving a relationship for a purely emotional affair. And if they tell you that it hasn't gone anywhere sexual, they're probably lying. If they come to you and say, I'm leaving you for an emotional affair, chances are it's gone further than that.
I'm leaving you for Facebook, baby. Facebook is making me happy. Well, Laura, thank you so much. Great stuff, as always. Thank you for being
Thanks
here.
for having me.
And if you have a health question, you can email me here at Fox at drmanny@foxnews.com. Until next time, I'm Dr. Manny.